Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are San Diego.
Last night, the Cardinals' bats were hot, and so was Jose Martinez, who was 3 for 3 in the game, including this 2-run home run as part of the St. Louis victory. They take game 1 of the series 5-2. Tonight is game 2 as the fans make their way into Busch Stadium. It's the Cardinals and Padres in the middle game of a 3-game series. Now limbering up is Marcell Ozuna, the former Miami Marlin. Since June 1st, hitting at .395 with 4 home runs and 11 RBIs. On the other side, hot for the Padres, Corey Spangenberg in the last 7 games, hitting at .333 with 3 homers and 6 runs batted in. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo along with Mark Grant. Welcome to Padres Baseball. Matt Strom on the hill tonight for the Padres. This is the 3rd bullpen game of the year for the Padres. So far, they've gone pretty well.
Don, I got to be honest with you. I kind of look forward to these pen days. Everybody gets to play. Everybody gets the heads up the night before that they might be in the ball game. And the best thing for the Padres is to maybe go 3 innings for Matt Strom. Last time out, 2 1/3. Castillo came in, the rookie right-hander, inning at 2/3. He struck out the side his first time out there. They turn it over to Simber, Yates in hand. But here's the thing. Pen day. Empty the tank. Redline it. Go right after him. Pound that strike zone. We know the stuff that these Padre pitchers have. They know the scouting report against these Cardinals hitters. So it's not like they're going to start a game and say, I've got to go 7. No, that's not the case. Go hard for as long as you can, an inning or 2, and then take your chance. And it worked last time. They won 3-1.
One of the great surprises of this Major League season has been Miles Michaelis, the former Padre who has 7 wins already on the year.
He spent 3 years in Japan, Miles Michaelis did, and he somewhat reinvented himself. Before he was kind of wild, but things really started to turn the corner. Now it's really paid off. You look at the National League rankings, one thing's for sure, Miles Michaelis is a strike thrower. He pounds the zone. 3 years in Japan, a 2.18 ERA. He told himself, quote, I'm going to throw quality strikes, not just on the middle, but on the corners. My balance is much better, and my mindset, I'm much more game aware of what's going on surrounding me, and it's really paid off for the Redbirds.
Padres trying to bounce back in game 2 of the series. We'll step aside. Coming up, we go back to the studio for Pick the Stick, and who for the Padres will figure out Miles Michaelis. Mike and Mark on the other side after this. to you by Jack in the Box. Try the $4.99 Jack Spicy Chicken Club Combo with toasted sourdough. New from Jack in the Box. By Petco, the pet company. By Sycuan Casino, opening in 2019 is Sycuan's brand new 300-room resort and hotel. And by Nissan. It's time to upgrade. Save big at the Nissan Tech for All sales event. Shop ChooseNissan.com. We welcome you back to St. Louis as we get ready for Game 2 of the series. But first, let's send it down to field level and Bob Scanlon.
Thank you, Don. As discussed, for the third time this season, the Padres will send Johnny Holstaff to the mound. In other words, they won't have a traditional starter. They'll depend on the entire bullpen to give them 9 full innings in a Padres win. This will ask some of the relievers to possibly be in some unfamiliar situations. Now, how does this affect the game calling from behind the plate? And here's the Padres catching corps to explain.
You just piece it together. You trust the guys, trust their strengths. Just learn a little bit about the opposing team, but in a game like this, there's no real tendencies or saving pitches for later in the game. It's on the attack, and hopefully we get in a good situation where we can match up well and give us a chance to win the game. You know our guys, and we're prepared with what our guys' strengths are, and trying to match it up a little bit with the Cardinal tendencies, but the majority of it's going to be our pitcher strengths, and they're out there for a reason. Our bullpen guys have done a nice job in this setting before.
You kind of use it to your advantage because you know the hitter's not really going to see them more than once, maybe twice. So you can use it to your advantage, if anything, that the hitter can't really get too comfortable because they know they're going to see a different guy every inning, every 2 innings, maybe the 3rd inning. But so it's really no different than if they came in the 6th or 7th. You go to pitching right away, and you just treat it as it's the 6th or 7th.
These catchers aren't going to mess around. There's not setting anybody up. It's going with the best stuff right from the get-go. They'll start with Matt Strom. He'll be going against Miles Michaelis. It's a no-fly zone for the Cardinals today. Matt Strom and the rest of the bullpen will try to put together some punch-outs today. Padres, Redbirds, first pitch coming up next, right here on Fox Sports San Diego.
The Game 1 victory against the Padres has the St. Louis train inching forward in the standings as they're now just 2.5 games back in the NL Central. Tonight, Matt Strom and the bullpen look to derail the Cardinals by stringing together solid outings from one reliever to the next. Meanwhile, St. Louis counters with their lead engineer, Miles Michaelis, whose success could be baseball's biggest surprise this season. All aboard! The Padres and Cardinals are next. Now the Padres and Cardinals ready to go in Game 2 of the series. Time now for the weather report brought to you by your always sunny Honda dealers of San Diego County. 89 degrees as we get it started. A little cooler tonight, believe it or not. Northwest breeze at 8 miles per hour. And the forecast cloudy for the remainder of the night, although I don't see a cloud in the sky as we get it started. Don Orsillo, Mark Grant, and Bob Scanlon with you for the middle game of the 3-game series. Now, tonight we're participating in the Home Run Challenge. Every home run in this game raises money for prostate cancer research. Since June 1st, $525,000 have been raised in the challenge. You can make a pledge by going to homerunchallenge.org. Now, Travis Jankowski and the Padres getting ready. And let's check out the Padres starting lineup, brought to you by your San Diego County Toyota dealers. Travis Jankowski will lead it off. He is in left field with Eric Hosmer at first base. Jose Perella at second base with Hunter Renfroe in right field. Corey Spangenberg gets a start at third with Freddie Galvis at short. Manuel Margot in center. A.J. Ellis does the catching, batting eighth. And Matt Strom, the pitcher, out of the 9th spot for San Diego. On the hill is Miles Michaelis, looking for win number 8 of the year.
29-year-old making his 13th start. 7-1 record. His loss, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 1 earned run. He is a strike thrower. He has reinvented himself after spending 3 years in Japan. We will get into that during the course of the ball game. He's a strike thrower. He'll strike hitters out, but still he needs some defense behind him, and that's been one of the question marks this year for the Redbirds. Their defense really isn't Tupperware tight, if you will. Well, behind the plate, Platinum Glove winner Yadier Molina. No errors this season. And he's looking out at third base, Matt Carpenter. Munoz at short, Jerko at second, Martinez at first. In the outfield, Ozuna, Pham, and Bader behind Miles Michaelis. Brought to you by San Diego Cadillac dealers.
So Michaelis ready to work here to Travis Jankowski to get it started tonight in St. Louis. Travis been leading off every day for the Padres and does so again tonight. And the first pitch of this one is in there for strike one, and we're underway. You'll get used to hearing that because he is ahead of most during the course of his outings. 305 average, a home run, 6 runs batted in for Jankowski. And this one grounded back to Michaelis, who knocks it down. He'll flip underhanded. And Jankowski retired 1-3 to start the ball game. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Muzzle Michaelis, we talked about the success that he has had this year. I mean, he has thrown the ball extremely well. He's looking at an all-star appearance probably. And also, bullpen is the bomb. It's worked before. It's a bullpen day. Bob Scanlon was talking about it. Johnny Holstaff today. I want to thank my partner Don Orsillo for helping me out a little bit with the keys.
A little key help. I think that's the first time I've ever helped. This one's on the ground to first base on 2 hops, maybe 3. Down there is Jose Martinez, who tags the bag ahead of the arrival of Eric Hosmer. 2 down. So 2-away, and that'll bring up Jose Perella. Well, for Michaelis, you really do have to be aggressive. Otherwise, you're going to be down 0-2.
He's going to throw strikes. That is a given, and you're going to get something to hit. The key is, though, is he going to be able to throw quality strikes in and out, up and down effectively? But you're right, Don. Anything close, the old number 1, throws a lot of fastballs. If it's there, take a hack at it.
Padres 7th round pick, 204th overall in 2009. Was in San Diego in 2012 and 13. This one is to right field. Bader moving over and diving, but he'll knock it down. It lands on a hop, and Perella throws the brakes on around first base. Back to the bag at first with 2 down, and a base hit for Jose Perella.
Great effort by Bader. This guy can run. He can pick him up and put him down, and Perella gets jammed with a 94 fastball. And he's lucky. You know, once you lay out, it's that point of no return. Talking Kansas here. Great tune. Point of no return. Keeps it in front of him. It gets by him. That's extra bases. That's possibly a 3-bagger.
So a 2-out base runner here for the Padres, and it brings up Hunter Renfroe.
And there goes the no-no.
Renfroe in the cleanup spot tonight. With 3 homers, 16 runs batted in, and the .256 average. Strike 1 from Michaelis.
He'll change speeds on that fastball as well. 95, 96, 93, maybe early getting the over BP fastball. I'm not saying BP, but he'll just take a little bit off just to give the hitter a different look.
Grounded foul. Sound like he fractured the bat. And he did. So he will flip it away and get a new one. You know, this season, here are the numbers for Miles Michaelis. And I'm thinking this is along the lines of comeback player of the year right here.
He's got my vote. Tyson Ross also is going to get my vote. It's going to be a split vote. 6 home runs only in those 79 and third, and the walks compared to strikeouts. Fascinating numbers.
You know, this time in the majors with the Padres, the Rangers, and the 3 years with the Yomiuri Giants in Japan. Here he is only 29 years of age still, which is amazing.
Still young enough, I think, to really pay dividends over here in the States with a major league organization. And the Cardinals, I'll tell you what, it's one heck of a sign.
6'5", 220 pounds, good frame. 1-2 swung on and missed, and Renfroe strikes out. First K for Miles Michaelis ends the top of the first. The Cardinals are coming up. Padres don't score in the top of the first. The Cardinals coming up in the bottom of the first inning as we check out their starting lineup tonight. Matt Carpenter going to lead it off at third base. Tommy Pham in center with Jose Martinez at first base. Marcelo Zuna in left field. Yadier Molina doing the catching. Jed Jerko is at second base with Harrison Bader in right field. Jairo Munoz at shortstop bats eighth. And Miles Michaelis does the pitching and bats out of the 9th spot for Mike Matheny and Matt Strom to begin the game for the Padres.
The double nickel, 55 on the hill for the Friars. He's got the 4-pitch mix, and I say empty the tank. Maybe 3 innings. Go right after these Redbird hitters. His scouting report is brought to you by GMC.
Third start for Strom, his 11th appearance. And a strike over the heart of the plate, and a low strike to Matt Carpenter. 231, 8 homers, and 23 runs batted in for Carpenter. Had a very slow start to the year. We saw him struggling at Petco Park in San Diego when the Cardinals were in San Diego, but he has turned it around in a big way since then. And the Cardinals playing good baseball. They've won 4 of their last 5 games, scoring some runs too. 25 runs and 11 home runs in their last 5 games. Includes 3 in last night's contest. 0-2 pitch from Strom. And a swing and a miss. Carpenter strikes out. Good pitch. Well, the first out for Strom is by way of the K.
It's the sweeping breaking ball. Matt Strom kind of throws across his body a little bit. And out of the hand, you can see where that ball's on the inside part of the plate to Carpenter, and then the sweeper down and away. Really took the layoff with 2 strikes.
1 down for Tommy Pham, center fielder for St. Louis. Pham had 271 to begin the night. He's got good power, 9 home runs, 23 runs batted in. 60th game that he has participated in on the year.
Let's check out the defense for the San Diego Padres behind Matt Strom this evening in St. Louis, game 2 of 3. Manuel Margot, 118 putouts, leads San Diego in the outfield. He's patrolling center field. Travis Jankowski in left, Hunter Renfroe in right. On the infield, third to first. Spangenberg, Galvis, Perella, Hosmer. Behind the dish, A.J. Ellis. That defense for the Padres, of course, brought to you by your San Diego County Ford dealers.
In there for a strike, and it evens at 2-2. Padres relievers have a 3.22 earned run average this year, 7th best in the majors. Padres bullpen has logged 257 innings this year, 4th most in the majors. That's pretty rested, though. The only reliever they had to use in last night's game was Phil Hughes, who went multiple innings to set up for today's bullpen game.
You know what I think? One of the advantages, I mean, relievers are trained. They're geared to see the game, the way it's developing. They can anticipate the phone ring, and it's going to be them certain times. But tonight's a different story because everybody is ready to go. They know what the game plan is collectively.
That's strike 3 to Tommy Pham, and back-to-back strikeouts for Matt Strom. Looking good tonight, 2 down.
Command of the fastball inside. A.J. Ellis right there on the inside court. 96 from Matt Strom. I really like what I see in this kid. He's got the good pitcher's frame. He's got the good arm action. He's got the good clean delivery.
2 down here in the first inning. Jose Martinez, first baseman, having a terrific year and had a very good night last night. Swings at the first pitch and pops it a foul off to the right out of play. It's time now for a Rocket Mortgage breakdown. Just talking about Jose Martinez, who now has 10 home runs on the year. He's got a 9-game hitting streak coming in. 17 hits during the 9-gamer. A .531 average. That'll get it done. OPS at 1.677 and 5 homers during that time. Only 1 strikeout. He had 36 plate appearances.
Yeah, he puts together good at-bats. You know, you look at the power numbers for Martinez. Let's say you ask somebody, you show them the numbers, you show them the size. Oh, I bet you he punches out a lot. Not the case.
There are the numbers for him. Batting here with 2 down, bases empty in the first inning.
Don, you mentioned the home run being the story for the Cardinals last night, right? Well, it's worth mentioning that the Cardinals in the National League, they ranked 3rd in the home run category. And that is a big key to beat Mike Matheny's team, because when they homer here at Busch 3, they're 18-4. So keep the ball in the yard. So
Up high, and it's now 3-1. We were talking about the dimensions last night with Tony Gwynn Jr. And this ballpark really does play very fairly. I mean, symmetrically pretty good. 400 straightaway center, 375 to both the power alleys, and 335 down the right field line and the left field line. I mean, it is not huge, but not small. Ground ball left side, deep short, and Galvis with a good throw, and Matt Strom with a good first inning. 1, 2, 3, 2 strikeouts. No score from St. Lou.
Camping World MLB All-Star ballot is open and exclusively online. Make sure your favorite Padres are represented on this year's squad by voting at Padres.com/vote. Catch all the excitement of the 89th MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard July 17th live on Fox.
Corey Spangenberg leading it off here in the second inning. Spangenberg, Galvis, and Margot to face Miles Michaelis. Gave up a 2-on base hit in the first inning, but then struck out Hunter Renfroe to end the first. Spangenberg getting the start at third base in tonight's game. The Cardinals have won 9 of 12 games that Michaelis has started this year. Five seasons in the Padres organization. Pitched in the majors in 2012 and 13 for San Diego before being dealt to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Beat the Marlins on Thursday, holding them to 3 runs, 1 earned over 7 innings. A 4-1 Cardinals victory. As Freddie Galvis waits on deck, Padres batting here in the visiting half of the second. And this one fouled off, full count. Spangenberg with the Padres home run yesterday, his 6th home run of the year. And at the time put the Padres on top 1-0. Eventually losing the game 5-2. And the grounds one foul towards the end of the Cardinals dugout. They're housed on the first base side here at Busch Stadium. Michaelis goes 6'5". And that's going to drop in for strike 3. Second strikeout for Michaelis. 1 down here in the second inning.
Backdoor breaking ball from Michaelis. Throws Corey Spangenberg. Getting up on top, spinning it. Good rotation. Up a little bit, but looked like Corey was guessing. Gave up on that one.
So 1 down here in the second inning brings up Freddie Galvis. With Matt Carpenter, third baseman, in on the infield grass astride, and Galvis will take strike 1. Freddie hitting at .230, 3 homers and 22 runs batted in.
You know, there was a nice article on The Athletic from Mark Saxon the other day. Worth reading if you're interested to learn more about Michaelis. His approach when he went to Japan, he said it's really quite simple, but it's the pitcher that matters and how you incorporate it. Quote, to throw strikes and throw more quality strikes, not just strikes down the middle, but work inside and out, locate all my pitches for strikes as well. Pitching, better balance, better command, better game awareness, end quote. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it?
Sounds easy. Still got to execute it, though, and
exactly.
He's been doing it.
Yeah. And you know, looking at some footage from, as we look at Mike Maddox, the pitching coach for the Redbirds, he seems to be a little bit more upright rather than kind of tilting towards the first base line.
That's his 3rd strikeout in a row as he gets Galvis swinging. 2 down.
His arm slot has gone down a little bit to 3/4. So that's when I think he's talking about his balance, staying more towards home plate, because a lot of guys who throw hard, they have a tendency to tilt, right-handers in particular, tilt towards that first base line when they start to go forward to home plate. He's a little bit more erect, lower arm angle, pounding the zone, staying on line, hence better pitches, better location.
2 down here in the second inning for Manuel Margot, who will take strike 1. Back on May the 10th to face the Padres, went 6 2/3 innings, a 1-run ball, and a win against San Diego. It was a bunt bid by Margot on the third base line, but foul. 0-2. This is what he features now.
48% fastball. That's interesting, right? Because then he mixes in all the other stuff. And usually first pitch fastball, he gets ahead for a strike. Very high percentage of first pitch strikes from the right-hander. At the the bigger breaking ball, that's the curveball. You got the shorter breaking ball and the slider, and then once in a while a show-me changeup that might set up that fastball. And the sweet 70s mustache to go along with it.
25th pitch here of his outing with 2 down in the second inning. And a swing and a miss, gets away briefly from Molina, so he's got to throw Margot out, and he does. 4 straight strikeouts from Michaelis, scoreless from St. Louis.
Looks at him and ends up at a different place. I mean, there's some aggression to the delivery. When it's there, you can feel the attack the way you feel from a bullpen guy, but you see the four-pitch mix, and you can see a starter there. So I think he's going to be successful in either role going forward, but time being, he's filling this unique role for us.
That's Andy Green talking about his starter tonight, Matt Strom. And as you can tell, the jury is still out as to where he might be most effective. But what everybody agrees upon is that the loose arm action, the explosive fastball is going to play no matter whether he starts or comes out of the bullpen. The encouraging thing that we've seen tonight so far tonight, guys, is that he's used all 4 of his pitches. We've seen the slider, the curveball, and he threw a couple of good changeup in that first inning as well. He's off to a real nice start tonight, guys. Back up to you.
All right, Scan, thanks very much. Yeah, love what we see so far from this guy.
I said it earlier. I'm a believer.
Marcelo Zuna leading it off here. Gotta be careful with him. 7 home runs so far in the year, and he jumps back out of the way of a pitch in.
I like his demeanor on the mound as well, his mound presence. He doesn't seem to be thinking a lot. It seems to me by his body language he's got a great idea of what he's wanting to do.
Fouled off down the right field line, out of play. Now last night, Ozuna, one of the 2 two-run home runs in the game for the Cardinals. His 7th of the year, RBIs 33 and 34. In his first year in a St. Louis uniform after coming over from the Miami Marlins. Takes the 1-2. It was up at 95. And it's 2-2 now. The Cardinals do hit home runs. They've got 80 as a team. Home in Milwaukee and Los Angeles ahead of them. Popped up, foul ground. That'll get out of play.
I've got an issue. The fluorescent arm sleeve on Ozuna, I think those should be outlawed in baseball. I think it should be your team color. I think it's a distraction. If he should wear it, pitchers should wear one on their throwing arm. That should be the team color. Come on, really? Seriously, Don, honestly. You can
doesn't
disagree.
Really bother me.
It doesn't. Okay, that's fair.
Really bother me.
That's fair.
On the ground towards short. Galva's coming in. He'll fire to first, and that's the first out of the second inning. I think it should match. I agree with you on that, but it doesn't. I'm not upset about it. Like, you're very upset.
I didn't sleep last night.
You seem very angry.
Yeah. It's pretty ticked.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah.
One down here in the second brings up Yadier Molina. They are thrilled to have Molina back. He is the heart and soul of this team.
Brings so much, doesn't he?
Whole pitching staff affected by his absence. 272, 6 homers, 22 runs batted in. And a fly ball headed out to shallow center. Pretty Galvis backpedaling on the short lawn in center for out number 2. Five in a row retired by Straw. And it'll bring up Jed Jerko. 260 with 5 home runs and 19 runs batted in. I'll tell that to the Padres. He's a guy that just feasts on Padres pitching.
They just haven't executed pitches against him. I think that's just plain and simple. Jerko against lefties this year hitting .417.
What his career numbers against the Padres? .442 average, 9 home runs, 18 runs batted in 14 games against San Diego. Traded him to St. Louis back in December 2015. Of course, that was a deal for John Jay. Came over initially. John has been a couple places since.
He's with the Royals now, isn't he?
He is. Yes.
He signed with the Royals?
Just moved.
Yep. I-70 west of here about.
No, he's in Arizona now.
Arizona.
Yeah, went to Diamondbacks
That's right.
from Kansas City.
That's right.
Yeah.
I stand corrected. Thank you.
I'm sure of that outfield with the defensive issues they have. Injuries down the line at third. Spangenberg with a very long throw, but he'll get it there in plenty of time. Nice play by Spangenberg. 1-2-3 inning. We head to the third scoreless. And it is time for the Kia Drive to Success. Miles Michaelis, highest percentage of first pitch strikes, about 72.1%, leading the major leagues in that category. And the average, you look at 60.5%.
That's remarkable, isn't it?
So far in this game, he is 7 for 7 at first pitch strikes.
What a concept.
Leading it off here is A.J. Ellis, sending one to right field. Bader on the run will make the sliding catch on the warning track out there, and the dirt in the right field corner. and takes extra bases away from A.J. Ellis for the first out here in the third inning.
The kid can run. He can cover some ground. He's the 5th fastest in the National League. And then he breaks it down. That's great concentration. And rather than running into that padded wall there, why not break it down?
Well, nicely done by Harrison Bader out there in right field. First out of the third inning, and it brings up Matt Strom, the pitcher. He's 0 for 1 so far at the plate this season with the Padres. That includes his major league career. Interesting to see if they stretch him out a little bit here tonight and whether or not he goes like, I don't know, 4 or 5 in tonight's outing, now in his 3rd start.
It's funny you say that because I was just looking at pitch totals his first 2 times.
Yep.
Being Johnny Holstaff guy, 31 and 30.
So they were the same.
Yeah, maybe go a little bit more tonight, maybe 15-ish, depending on how many pitches he throws.
He's at 26 through the first 2 innings, batting for himself and fouling one off to the right out of play. Grounds one down the third baseline. It's a fair ball. Carpenter's off balance throw. Off the mark, but tag in the bag with the glove is Jose Martinez. That time to get Strom for out number 2. Carpenter making an off-balance throw that was almost errant.
You know, I thought maybe Carpenter had a little bit more time to set himself. And Martinez, rather than shuffling his feet to get over to first base, he's just going to bend over and touch it with his glove.
Two down, 6 in a row, retired by Miles Michaelis, and it brings up Travis Jankowski, second time through now for Michaelis through the Padres order.
He's a strike throwing machine, isn't he?
Really is ahead of all.
That's 10 out of 10.
Jankowski grounded back to the mound in the first inning, 0 for 1.
Oh, I just thought of a look-alike. Oh my goodness gracious! And it's right on for Michaelis.
What do you got?
Oh, Kevin Kline, the actor. Oh my gosh! It's. Did you see the movie Soap Dish? A Fish Called Wanda?
Fish Called Wanda, yeah. I think it's a stretch.
Really? We'll have to see what the people think.
On the ground to first base. Martinez flips. Michaelis or Kevin Kline. I can't tell the difference. Covered. Scoreless. Halfway through the 3rd.
I wonder.
I still get to this day, not on an everyday basis, but when fans come up and they say thanks for putting the game back on the map. You know, people had such a bad taste in their mouth of what happened in '94 with the strike and no World Series, and to make this game flourish and the billions and billions of dollars. And I truly believe it started in '98 to bring this thing back, and the fans are coming in flocks.
That's Padres bench coach Mark McGuire talking about the 1998 season where he and Sammy Sosa chased the 61 home run mark set by Roger Maris. And of course, Big Mac would end up hitting 70 home runs here in a Cardinals uniform. And I tell you guys, coming back here, as soon as the gates open, there's a flood to come down to the dugout and try to get Mark McGuire's autograph. He's still an icon in this city, and many people feel like he saved the game that year. Guys, back up to you.
All right, Scan, thanks very much. Good running catch by Hunter Renfroe into right center field. Hunter had a long way to go and gets over there to make the catch on Harrison Bader for the first out.
Yeah, I didn't think that ball was going to get caught. As soon as this ball was off the bat, you can see from our vantage point that Manuel Margot and Renfroe were going to the right center field gap. And you sprint, you run with your glove by your side, and then you extend. If you extend early, it's going to slow you down. Nice running catch by Hunter.
That's 7 in a row retired by Matt Strom. He's had some help from some pretty good defense behind him. Nice play earlier by Freddie Galvis. Now a good running catch by Hunter Renfroe, and it brings up Jairo Munoz. Munoz back-to-back starts here in this series. 268, 3 homers, and 13 runs batted in.
That pitch right there is going to do wonders for Matt Strom. Fastball, glove side from the left side to the right-handed hitters. If you can get it in there, look, splits the corner at 92.
Popped up foul off to the right, out of play.
See, now that it's a strike, they have to swing at it. Now it's just up a little bit, elevated, and that's tough to put in play and get on top of.
Pitch a game break coming up from Philadelphia, Rockies and Phillies. Swing and a miss, and Strom strikes out Munoz. Third strikeout for Strom. 2 down here in the 3rd inning. Well, it's time now for our Valley View Casino trivia question. Mark McGuire hit 220 home runs with St. Louis between 1997 and 2001. How many players had more career home runs with the St. Louis Cardinals than McGuire? Tweet us your answers by the end of the inning using hashtag Valley View Trivia. 2 down here in the 3rd. Miles Michaelis batting for the first time tonight and taking a first pitch strike. Well, he's been great on the mound, not so much at the plate. 1 for 24. 36 career average in 4 major league seasons. Does have a home run. Fifth pitch, and a swing and a miss for Michaelis. 1-2.
Tell you what, Matt Strom is doing North Dakota proud tonight. West Fargo, North Dakota. The kid from.
Swing and a miss, and he strikes out Miles Michaelis. A 1-2-3 3rd inning. Tony Gwynn Jr. will be in the booth when we come back. We're scoreless. Yes,
wow.
sir.
All right. I
We're
feel
glad
special.
to have you in the booth and to get mud out.
You get a little break from mud, that's for sure.
Eric Hosmer drives one to deep center field. Tommy Pham going back at the wall. It's gone. Eric Hosmer with a home run, his 9th home run of the year. Straightaway center field, and the Padres jump on top tonight 1-0. Eric Hosmer taking that one to straightaway center field above the 400 marker into the batter's eye.
That's what you call taking them to the bridge right there. Fastball. One of the few mistakes that Michaelis has made today. Oh, actually, that curveball, excuse me, right in the middle of the plate. You see that pose from Eric Hosmer, usually means the ball is exiting. This time, center stage.
So 1-0 Padres lead as Jose Perella had the only hit previously to the home run by Hosmer as Perella singled to right field in the first inning. .278 average for Perella. Last year hit a .288 for the season. Kind of got jammed here. Pops it up, foul ground. Back comes Yadier Molina, and he'll make the catch. Back in front of the screen for the first out here of the 4th inning. How happy are the Cardinals to have him back? He's such a huge part of this team.
I mean, he is what you in football they have shutdown corners that take away half of the field. He's basically the guy he's the shutdown corner. He shuts down all running games. You game plan for a guy like Yadier when you're going over things in your locker room about the opposing team. Yadier Molina definitely comes up, especially as it pertains to the run game.
Now it is Hunter Renfroe swinging to the first pitch, sending one to the edge of the track. Now onto it for Bader, who's there for out number 2. Now it looks like the approach has changed here a little bit. Second time through, jump on this first pitch you get from Michaelis because you know it's going to be a strike, it seems.
Well, they tried that in the first inning, and he only ended up throwing, I think, 8 pitches or something like that.
Yeah, 9 in the first.
9 in the first inning, and I think guys may have tried a different route the next inning, and they've kind of got back to it. But if you go back to the start against San Diego, he doesn't walk anybody. Doesn't walk very many guys at all. So the smart thing to do is try to be on the attack. Just make sure it's in the zone.
2 down here in the inning for Corey Spangenberg, who does take the first pitch, and it's in there for a strike, and that's what happens if you take the first pitch most times.
I mean, he had 4 straight strikeouts from the first inning through the second, and guys were up looking early, and he got ahead.
The home run by Hosmer starts the top of the 4th inning and gives the Padres the lead. Michaelis gets Perella and Renfroe, now a 1-1. And Spangenberg grounds it foul. Meanwhile, Padres getting very good starting pitching from Matt Strom. Tough to do better what he's done in the first 3 innings.
I mean, he was equally as sharp as Michaelis was through the first 3. Obviously, in Strom's mind, he doesn't have to go through as much as a game.
This one right off Michaelis. Spangenberg trying to reach a throw to first, and it's not in time. Spangenberg will get a base hit on a hot shot right back off the starting pitcher. Says he's okay. I'm not sure where it got him.
It looked as though off the bat, his initial reaction was to barehand it, and it almost looked like he tried to take it back. It looks like it catches him in the leg a little bit. The throw, like it might have been just late.
He thought he got him. And so far, the Cardinals are not challenging. Looks like they're not gonna.
As you can tell, baseball players get it wrong quite often. You see those type of reactions very often, and it turns out we're usually wrong.
But they want it to be right so much.
They do. Just like it's almost like the hitter that just shakes his head as he's walking because he is trying to make everybody think it was a ball.
Yeah.
Deep down, he usually knows that was a strike.
But you have to respect their passion. Yeah. I mean, that you gotta respect that. Throw over and Spangenberg back.
It's almost like a reflex, I think, for most players.
Check it. Check it. Well, Freddie Galvis struck out swinging in the second inning, 0 for 1. Now a pop-up foul off third. Carpenter going as far as he can. Carpenter will lean, but it's out of his reach. Photographers well just beyond the Padres dugout down that third base line. Galvis will live to see another pitch here.
It's hard for me to look at anything else but his mustache every time we show his face. Try not to pay attention to it, but it just pops out.
One thinks he's a Kevin Kline lookalike.
I don't really see it.
That's what I said. Ooh, Spansberg got a break towards second, and then threw the brakes on. He realized Michaelis wasn't even close to throwing.
No. And sometimes that's part of the deal as a base runner / base stealer. You go off a feel. Thought he had him timed up. Michaelis decides to hold a little bit longer than he had been. Fortunately for Spans, he recognizes that and gets back.
Missing down low and away, and it evens at 1-1. Actually down and in here to Galvis.
I get the sense watching Spangy at first base that feels like he has something.
All of a sudden here, Michaelis a little bit off. You wonder about that ball back at him, off of him, if it has done anything to him here. Said he was not injured in any way, but his momentum's been a little bit different here, and he slowed it up here, certainly with a guy at first base.
Well, he's certainly first time in the stretch, hadn't been there very often, having to make some mechanical adjustments since he's been in it.
Galvis will line this into center field for a base hit, and Spansberg takes second base. Tommy Pham will get it back in, and Padres got something going here with 2 down in the inning.
It's a good at bat by Freddie Galvis. Fouled off a couple hard fastballs in, laid off a couple sliders down and in. Another breaking ball in the middle of the plate. The 2 bad breaking balls that Miles Michaelis has thrown have both resulted in a hit. One ended up over the fence in center field. This one nearly takes off his hat, going up the middle to center.
2 on, 2 down. Run in for the Padres here in the 4th inning, and here's Manuel Margot. 2 outs and runners in scoring position, hitting at .375, 6 for 16. Padres as a team have been outstanding in that category, but Manuel really has.
Certainly something this Padre ball club, you can call it luck or not, but they certainly have been doing it the entire season.
On the ground, trickle down the third baseline. Carpenter races in, barehanded his throw, not going to be in time. Infield hit for Manuel Margot with great speed down the line, gets himself a base hit, and the Padres have him loaded here in the 4th inning.
This ball gets in on Margot big time. Fastball pretty much works as a swinging bunt, and the way Margot runs, Carpenter comes in and barehands it, and look at Margot get down the line.
That's impressive.
It didn't matter what Carpenter did, perfectly or not, he was not throwing out Margot at first.
Bases filled with Padres, 2 down here in the 4th inning. And here is A.J. Ellis. Sent one deep to right field into the right field corner. And Harrison Bader was able to run it down on the warning track. Now he takes a pitch up high for ball 1. 3 straight starts for Rafi Lopez, and A.J. Ellis getting the start here tonight. Here's a liner into right field, a base hit for A.J. Ellis. Spansberg will score. Here comes Freddie Galvis. Here comes the throw. Galvis will be safe. He gets in safely, according to home plate umpire Chris Siegel. 2 runs are in. The Padres take a 3-0 lead. And we'll see if the Cardinals are going to challenge this play at the plate.
I think
Heaney waiting to get word here.
I think they're going to find that he was safe. Look at A.J. Ellis. Perfect job with that slider running away from him. Stays on it. Galvis, who came around third, I tell you what, he took a brilliant turn around third. Watch how he hugs the third base line. He doesn't get in the grass very far before he corrects his line, and that allows him to get in there just in time.
They're going to challenge this, are the Cardinals.
I think he's going to be safe.
The call on the field is safe, and because of that, I think it's going to be very hard to overturn. Not sure there's enough there. We'll see. So you get a look here.
Looks like his foot gets on the bag just before that tag gets on the foot.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just on that corner. Looks like when he reached home plate is when the tag was applied. So I think he's safe.
I think he's going to be safe, and if this call holds, that run should be attributed to Freddie Galvis's route coming home. You see the dirt that has the third base line in it. The objective is to get an angle early. You see his foot skid, hit that home plate just before that tag is applied. Right there is when the tag is applied.
Oh yeah, I think he's safe.
I think he's safe for sure.
And if nothing else, I don't think there's much there to overturn it.
There isn't. There isn't any evidence to say that he wasn't there beforehand.
They're still looking at it, though, in New York as we speak, as the challenge here from the Cardinals.
But again, that turn, Freddie Galvis, the secondary from second base, he takes a deep route, so he's not on that grass very much longer. As you see, they uphold the call. He's not on that grass very long before he gets back into that dirt. Tremendous route, tremendous piece of hitting by A.J. Ellis to give the Padres a 3-0 lead.
So Mike Maddox, pitching coach, going to head out there and talk to Miles Michaelis now, who has given up a total of 5 hits in this inning. Talk about uncharacteristic. And so far, 3 runs in the inning. It's first and third. A.J. Ellis with a big hit, a single, and 2 runs driven in. Review was 1 minute 47 seconds, and the call standing on the field. So the Padres have jumped on top 3-0, and a smile for A.J. Ellis. Hit the ball hard twice in this game. They fly out to right field on the warning track, and now a 2-run single. And Franmil Reyes now going to pinch in.
I don't know if manager Andy Green could have scripted this any better. He gets 3 perfect innings out of Strom. The pitcher spot comes up, who he was going to take out anyway, and he can get a pinch hitter in for him.
Adam Simber warming in the pen. And a strike over the outside corner to Franmil. He started the ball game last night. Comes off the bench tonight. A big spot here. Trying to get to Miles Michaelis. You have the opportunity to get to this guy, because otherwise you might not get to him at all. And the Padres have scored 3 times so far here in the 4th inning. Reyes with a big cut at a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Now Strom, I would love to see more of him. Really would.
Seems like he's getting more and more confidence every time he goes back on that bump.
Three innings in this outing. Retired all 9 batters he faced, 4 by way of the K, and was outstanding. They are projecting him to be a starter anyway.
He certainly hasn't hurt those chances in the last 2 outings he's had. He's been. This is the sharpest we've seen him, I think, all season.
1-2 pitch coming up here to Franmil Reyes. And trying to frame it on the outside edge was Molina, but it's ball 2. Go at third. A.J. Ellis crossed the diamond at first base. 3 runs in with 2 down here in the top of the 4th inning. away, not by much.
Bramill's been a little out of sorts as of late. This has been a good pinch hit at bat he's put together so far. And sometimes these are the type of bats that can kickstart you back in a good rhythm.
Swinging a foul to the screen, and we'll do it again here, 3-2.
Michaelis again leaving the curveball up. This one's probably a ball, but with 2 strikes, Bramill doesn't take any chances, fouls it off. He'll get another pitch.
And a foul down the right field line out of play. That is pitch 60 on the night now for Michaelis, who's had to work very hard here in the inning. And a 23 pitch inning for him after cruising through the first 3.
Padres proving a little bit more difficult that second time through the lineup.
Fouled off again to the right out of play. Now the 3 runs allowed by Michaelis ties a season high for runs allowed in an inning. He's not out of this one yet.
It's very uncharacteristic of Michaelis. Look at his starts. I think this is his 13th. He's only had 2 that haven't gone 6 innings or more.
Popped up, foul ground off first base way. Jose Martinez by his own dugout will make the catch. Right at the railing to end the inning, but a productive inning for the San Diego Padres. They scored 3 times in the inning. All got started on home run number 9 of the year for Eric Hosmer to center field. Padres lead it 3-0 after 3.5. We go, and Adam Simber first out of the pen tonight on this bullpen night, I guess. Matt Strom technically the starter. He goes 3 innings, giving up no hits, no runs, didn't walk anybody, and struck out 4, retired all 9 Cardinals he faced, and it is appearance number 27 of the year for Adam Simber. He's in the 2-2, the 2.84 earned run average. He's logged 31 2/3 innings, and the lefty-righty split's pretty similar with his sidewinding right-hander. Eric Hosmer with a home run. A.J. Ellis with a 2-run single. And the Padres enjoy a 3-0 advantage. Kind of twilight right now here in St. Louis. As you see a shift on the right side for the Padres here on Matt Carpenter, who leads it off for the Cardinals and takes strike 1.
Simber has just continued the surprising spring training and brought it right on into the regular season, giving Andy Green another arm out of the bullpen that he can feel pretty confident in going to.
Well, he may have been on the Padres radar, but he was not on Don's radar going into spring training.
He wasn't on a lot of people's radar, maybe other than the Padre brass that had him in camp in the first place. But he certainly earned every little bit of time he's gotten out on his diamond and pitched very well.
Carpenter with a swing and a miss, and he strikes out. 5 strikeouts for Padres pitching. Second time Carpenter's down by way of the K.
Carpenter doesn't strike out a lot. See the rising fastball, at least it appears to be rising from the left-hander. He's tardy on that.
One down here in the 4th inning for Tommy Pham. Pham struck out looking in the 1st inning. 6-game hitting streak coming in. 308 during that time. Now he lines one, caught it short by Freddie Galvis. Fully extended, Galvis reels in the liner. Great play by Galvis. 2 down.
That is hit hating at its finest right there. Galvis going to the glove side. Moves so fluent laterally. We had a star, we certainly would be hanging in on this one.
Exactly right. 2 down here in the 4th inning. Had a couple of good plays in this game. Robbed Jose Martinez of a base hit back in the 1st inning, and now grabs this liner. 2 down, and here is Jose Martinez. Grounded out to shortstop in the 1st. You get the feeling that the bullpen takes a great deal of pride in these bullpen games.
You do. You do. You can just see it when these guys get on the mound. They want to go out and dominate their portion that they're going to get. And I think that's the kind of spirit you want on your ball club. Guys who are taking the challenge of something that's unusual, like not having a 5th starter, and putting it on their shoulders and wanting to come through for their ball club. And so far, so good for the Pods.
Ball and 2 strikes here to Jose Martinez. As a group, they have retired the first 11 Cardinals they faced in this game. Swing and a miss, and Simber has a 1-2-3 4th inning with 2 strikeouts. We played 4-3-0 San Diego. Valley View Casino trivia question. Question tonight. Mark McGwire hit 220 home runs with the Cardinals between 1997 and 2001. How many players had more career home runs with St. Louis than McGwire? 5. Stan Musial, Albert Pujols, Ken Boyer, Jim Edmonds, and Ray Langford. There's Jimmy Edmonds in the ballpark broadcasting tonight for St. Louis television. Great tradition and history here in St. Louis.
Yeah. Let's get the same feeling going into this ballpark.
One bid here by Jankowski, and that is out number one. Diving head first, trying to get in, but Hosmer, or rather I should say, first baseman Jose Martinez on the tag. Time out for the tools of the trade, brought to you by Ram Trucks.
You see the breaking ball working very well for Michaelis. You see the only time it was up, it was located off the plate. The rest of these are down in the dirt, except for this one. He leaves this one up in the middle of the plate. And like I said, when you see that bat posed by Eric Hosmer, it usually means the ball is leaving the yard.
Getting his third plate appearance against Miles Michaelis. What were you going to say about other ballparks? Mind you,
you get the same feeling you get walking into Dodger Stadium or Yankee Stadium. This is the same feeling you get coming into this yard. It just has that historic feel to it when you walk. Even though this is part 3 of the Busch Stadium,
third edition,
you still get that same feel.
Great ballpark, better than 40,000 last night. Expecting the same tonight. Expecting the same every night in St. Louis. They love their Cardinals.
They do love their Cardinals. This is known around baseball as the easily the most knowledgeable sets of fans. It took me a little bit to find that word there, but I found it. Fans in all of baseball.
We were talking about it last night. They are among the friendliest of the fan bases in baseball.
They are.
They're very nice.
Your story really kind of seals that too.
Well, this pitch is going to miss. I was telling Tony off the air last night. I had the chance to be with the Red Sox in 2004, winning their first championship in 86 years. And it was won in St. Louis at Busch 2.
Busch 2, that's
and on
right.
the way out of there, they were all saying how happy they were that we won the World Series. And that's great for you guys. If we didn't win it, I'm so glad you did.
And I mentioned that's like, what would it have been like in New York if you'd done that?
Like, what? It's so great that you guys won.
If it wasn't going to be us, rather be it you.
Yes, exactly. It was amazing. Now, Hosmer may have hurt himself on that swing, kind of flexing the hand, and that is strike 3. Hosmer thought he may have fouled it off, but apparently he didn't. And he is still kind of grabbing at that hand, wincing as he walks away. Not sure what he did on the swing, but he strikes out.
He fouled it off, but I think he assumed that Molina didn't catch it. It landed right in his lap.
Got it.
And I'm sure Molina doesn't want any more balls landing in his lap. Yeah, I think Haas just assumed it hit the ground.
Andy Green is out talking about that right now.
And it's a good call. I mean, ultimately, the ball never hit the ground.
So that's strikeout number 5 from Michaelis. 2 down here in the 5th inning, and Paul Navarro, Padres trainer, checking on that hand of Hosmer. There's the pitch in there for a strike now to Jose Perella.
Certainly hope that Eric is just getting checked on and it's nothing serious.
Appears to be okay. Perella with a count of 1-1, batting with the bases empty and 2 down here in the 5th inning. Grounder right to the second baseman, Jed Jerko. He was aligned perfectly defensively, and that'll end the inning. 1-2-3 5th, halfway through, 3-0 Padres. Brought to you by Cadillac. Visit your San Diego Cadillac dealers today. And by Petco, the pet company. And by SeaWorld. Seal is tonight's word of the game. Head to foxsportssandiego.com and click Ways to Win for your chance to win a SeaWorld Family 4-pack. Last of the 5th inning, Adam Simber's 2nd inning of relief. Enjoyed a 1-2-3 4th inning. Padres pitching has combined to retire the first 12 St. Louis Cardinals. Here's Marcell Ozuna. Leads it off and takes strike 1. Wow. Hot zone is wide.
And clearly you want to stay out of the middle of the plate. And really what's unusual is he handles the ball away from himself better than he does in. That's unusual for most guys. Usually their hot spots are going to be middle, in. Some guys like it up. He likes the ball down and away from him.
Ozuna, I don't think he liked the call too much. Some pointing, some talking. I don't think umpires like that too much when you point and stuff, right?
I would be swinging right here no matter what.
1-2 pitch he was, and lifts a fly ball to right center field. Renfroe coming in, and Hunter makes the catch for out number 1 of the 5th inning.
And generally speaking, when you disagree with a call, you try to make it you try not to bring any attention to the fact that you disagree with the call.
Pointing and motioning would go against that.
That usually brings everybody in on the conversation at that point.
One down here on the 5th.
I mean, I guess he could be telling them what kind of pizza he likes and what kind of toppings he wants on it, but it doesn't look that way.
No. As Yadier Molina popped out to short in the 2nd. Highest career average by a catcher. Buster Posey at 308. Yadier Molina at 284.
Those two guys, I mean, Yadier especially, when he came into the league, was not known for his bat at all and has just worked his tail off to become one of the better catching hitters in all of baseball.
Drives on towards left center field. Over goes Jankowski with room to make the catch for out number 2. So 2 outs, and that'll bring up Jed Jerko. Gets you a game break from Yankee Stadium in New York, where the Washington Nationals and the New York Yankees are playing tonight. Good matchup there of a couple of good teams.
Really good matchup. Some good pitching staffs. Go along with some big boppers on both sides. 2 huge boppers on the Yankee side.
Jed Jerko thought about it, couldn't pull the trigger and take strike 1.
Just when you thought last night Jed Jerko was going to give his former team a day off, he decided not so fast. Ended up getting that homer in the last at bat.
Picks up the corner that time. 1-2. Jerko grounded out to Spangenberg at 3rd base in the 2nd inning. And now grounds 1 to Spangenberg again. This one's going to be tough. Throws on the run and just in time. Nice play by Corey Spangenberg. Off balance throw, had to race in, and Jerko is thrown out to end the inning. Pretty impressive play. Right down the line at 3rd base, and in comes Spangenberg. Padres are perfect through 5. All right, Mike, thanks very much as we play along here to the 6th inning. And Hunter Renfroe leading it off here in the 6th. Renfroe, Spangenberg, and Galvis. As Miles Michaelis back on the hill again. And this one, soft liner that is going to be caught. More of a bloop than a liner. And Jerko makes the catch coming in from second base. Well, the Padres a couple of years ago, when Miles Michaelis was a San Diego Padre in the bullpen, they had this thing where if the opposing team hit a home run into the pen, they would not move and would not try to catch the ball. And Miles Michaelis had one go right into his fleece, into a pocket. Watch this.
There Miles try to stay still and not move. The ball will find you sometimes.
Still not going to move, even though it's in my pocket.
Like, that ball didn't land in my pocket. There's nothing in my pocket.
Nope, nothing to see here. I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
I didn't either. First time.
Apparently it was a thing. I don't know if it still is. I hadn't noticed. Well, he goes to Japan for 3 years and comes back as one of the game's best this year. Skanky, you fill us in a little bit on that bullpen tradition. Is it a thing?
Well, it's interesting. Griffin Benedict, one of the bullpen coaches for the Padres, and Miles Michaelis were teammates when they were playing in the Padres organization together down in Fort Wayne, and that was just something that they did. They said, look, if a ball is hitting towards the bullpen, we'll all freeze and you can't move, and if the home run hits you, it hits you, so be it. So sure enough, the two of them hook up back here in the big leagues back in 2012 when Miles got called up, and so the ball gets hit. Miles actually looks at Griff and says, I think this one's going to hit me, and so he had to stand there and take it, and luckily it got him right in the pocket.
That's how bored they are in that bullpen.
Exactly. You come up with all kinds of games, don't you?
I don't care if the ball is in a flight. You cannot move. If it hits you, it hits you. That's called boredom, ladies and gentlemen.
Spangenberg fouls it back, and it hangs at 1-2. That could have been a lot worse. I mean, could have been higher. Could have got him up in the face or something.
That's my point. It's, you get a guy who actually drives a ball out there. I think I'm going to move.
Yeah,
if it's going to land on my chest or something.
I might break tradition. His next pitch would be his 80th of the night with one down here in the 6th inning.
Bullpen pitchers are usually some of your best pranksters on the team. All the way from hot foots to Trevor Hoffman taking a bite out of every donut before you walked in.
You know who was a reliever in his day who I heard was one of those guys?
I assume you're going to say your partner.
Yeah. I've heard that from just about every other reliever that ever played with him.
No way.
Yes. Apparently, he had a good time. Shocking, I know. But at other people's expenses for a long time.
Of course.
He liked to play with fire. I heard that was one thing. He was a fire guy.
He definitely liked to play with fire.
Yeah. There he is.
2-2. He'll be back soon enough. Enjoying these couple of innings. You have no idea. Foul back to the screen. It's like a breath of fresh air to have Tony Gwynn Jr. in the booth with us in these middle three every night, enjoying it so much. I don't know if you have any idea.
I do. I'm around you guys every day, so I see that Dante usually takes a beating for Mud.
Yes, I do. 24/7.
So don't feel bad for Mud at all.
There's a ground ball softly hit off the mound is Michaelis. He will run to the bag and beat Spangenberg for out number 2. So 2 down, and that'll bring up Freddie Galvis. I think it was John Smoltz who told me that he was the funniest teammate he had ever played with. They were the bullpen together when Smoltz was closing games for the Atlanta Braves. Mud was the funniest. And I said, really? Because now at this age, it's about 1 out of every 20 jokes, which is about 5%.
Well, he laughs at his own jokes, so the percentage is higher.
He thinks they're funny. You know, 1 out of 20 is not good.
1 out of 20 is pretty horrible.
5%, if I got my math right. He's 5% funny.
He wouldn't know the difference because he's laughing at all of them. So in his mind, he's hilarious.
Freddie Galvis with a good cut there, and it evens at 1-1. Manfred has had a nice night tonight defensively. A couple of very good plays. Breaking ball that time, and a strike called. I guess when you throw strikes, you're going to get some of those close pitches.
Yeah, and Michaelis has been that guy all season, so his reputation is going to follow him.
Ground ball up the middle to the backhand. Slides Jerko, hops up and throws out Freddie Galvis. 1, 2, 3, 6. In fact, 7 in a row retired by Michaelis, but 3-0 Padres.
All military by sharing a photo or video with hashtag Hats Off for Heroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
3-0. The Padres have the lead over the Cardinals. To the 6th inning we go on this bullpen night, which has been stellar to say the least for the San Diego Padres. Adam Simber into his 3rd inning of relief, dealing with Harrison Bader leading it off here for the Cardinals. Their right fielder is 0 for 1. In there for a strike, and Bader getting his 2nd look here. Bader lined out to right field. And Hunter Renfroe made a good running catch out there in right center field. Bader's got very good speed, you know that. Grounds one softly towards 3rd. Spangenberg races in, bare hands, and throws late. The first Cardinals hit of the night comes to lead off the 6th inning. Padres pitching had been perfect through the first 5. The combined perfect effort for Matt Strahm and Adam Simber. Just talking about Bader's speed, and there it is.
There's nothing anybody could have done differently in this, except Bader maybe could have hit it a little bit harder, but Spangenberg comes in with the bare hand throw. That's really the only shot he had, and even then it was still going to be probably too late. First hit for the Cardinals.
And it comes here to lead off the 6th inning. Jairo Munoz now standing in, a strikeout victim in the 3rd. Very defensive swing there. He looked baffled on that cut.
Get off me, ball. Ball coming in on him hard right there. That's the tough part facing a submarine type thrower. He's all the way on the first base side of the rubber, so you think you're going to get a good look, but when he steps across his body, all of a sudden that ground that you had to see is no longer there anymore.
Running in, and it's a ball and a strike now to Munoz. Well, they've got the center fielder Manuel go over towards right center. Big gap out in left center field for Munoz. Pitch 25 coming up for Adam Simber of his relief outing. And it's ground ball to second base. Perella's going to try and start it to Galvis for one, on to first for two. So that leadoff base hit is quickly erased on a double play. And there are 2 outs in the 6th inning. That's what you hope Simber would do, induce a ground ball double play. He did just that.
Former bench coach Ted Simmons, also a former Cardinal, used to call that a lane ball. Ball's tailor-made for the 4-6-3 double play. You know, Perella, once he's able to flip it to Galvis, it's pretty much lights out after that.
2 down here in the 6th inning. Dexter Fowler is going to be pinch hitting for Michaelis. Time now for the Lowe's whole team together, and you take a look at this bullpen as a group. 4th in Major League Baseball, 257 innings pitched coming in, and Hand leading in innings in that category. But Simber right there, 31 2/3. Erlin, Stammen, and Yates at 25. Kind of surprising he's not up near the other leaders. Now here is Dexter Fowler, who started last night's game. And comes off the bench here to pinch hit for Michaelis, who had only thrown 88 pitches and is done.
Running out of offensive chances. Like the Cardinals are, when they try to get a head start or getting some of these runs back that they trail.
Fowler down 0-2. So action in the pen now for the Cardinals as they'll be going to the pen, and Myers is up in the pen right now.
Dexter Fowler really still trying to find himself offensively.
Swing and a miss, and Fowler strikes out. That's 6 strikeouts for Padres pitching. So that will end it, likely for Simber, but it is 3-0 Padres at the end of 6. And for the Padres, outstanding pitching tonight. The combination of Strom and Simber starting the game for the Padres, 3 innings each. And they were outstanding. In fact, perfect through 5 before the infield hit by Bader. Offensively, the Padres get a leadoff home run by Eric Hosmer in the 4th inning. And then later on, with men on, A.J. Ellis drives in 2 with his base hit the other way into right field, scoring Spangenberg and Galvis, and the Padres have a 3-0 advantage that they hold going into the 7th inning. It's been a fun night in St. Louis. Matt Strom start. Miles Michaelis now out of the game for the Cardinals. Hosmer's home run, his 9th of the year, and A.J. Ellis driving in a pair with that single the other way. So it's 2 to 7th, and Mike Myers is going to be the new pitcher now for the Cardinals, taking over for Miles Michaelis. This first pitch is going to miss up for ball 1.
Padre pitching tonight, they just put on a clinic. I mean, pounding the strike zone, good quality strikes. Different look going with the Sidewinder Simber. This is the 15th game for Myers. Always going from the stretch, little fastball, little breaking ball, and I'll tell you, that kid right there, Adam Simber, just getting better and better. He faced the minimum thanks to that double play.
Manuel Margot leading it off and sending one to left field. Struck pretty well. Marcelo Ozuna going back at the wall, and that falls off the wall. Ozuna plays the carom, but Margot easily standing in his second base with a double. Nearly got it up over that short fence and left. But a double here for Margot to start the 7th inning.
Well, it's worth mentioning again as we see the Cardinals dip into their bullpen. Margot crushes a ball middle in. That's what hitters look for. Fastball middle in. Cardinals bullpen 12th in the National League with a 4.49 ERA.
Got to admit, a little surprised with a pinch hit for Michaelis last inning, only at 88 pitches, and because of what you just said, the bullpen.
Right there. I'm right there with you. I would not have a problem sending Michaelis back out there. Especially, you know, nobody was on base when they pinch hit for, you know, Michaelis. They sent Fowler up there with nobody on base.
Right.
Why not just have Michaelis go up there and give you another inning or two?
Fowler's really been struggling and struck out to end that inning. Now they're into the pen. Leadoff double, and here's A.J. Ellis bunting one down the third baseline. Nicely done. Carpenter will go to first, and the sacrifice complete.
Beautiful.
5-3 on the sacrifice. Who gets Margot to third base.
A.J. Ellis makes it look easy. Look, it's a great setup. He lets the ball get to the bat. The bat is level. Good setup. Athletic position. Eyeing the ball to the bat, not poking at it, and advancing that runner. Now the infield we brought in.
So 1 out runner at third, and here is Christian Villanueva grounding one to the shortstop. No play at the plate, so the throw goes to first, and the Padres widen their lead on top 4-0. So the pinch hitter Villanueva grounding out to the shortstop with the infield brought in, but had no play at the plate, and the Padres take a 4-0 lead.
Hey, that works.
Yeah, you hear the dugout mics. That works. Hey, credit A.J. Ellis. You know, the old joke in baseball is that give that guy half an RBI. Why? Because he got him over. And he was going on contact. Margot was going on contact. Watch. Contact, go. Gotta go. No way for Munoz to even attempt to try to throw him out at the plate.
Turn the order over. Up top, Travis Jankowski now batting for the 4th time. Really make good and convert on that leadoff double by Manuel Margot. Get him in for the 4th Padres run of the night. Check swing, but didn't go. 2 hits tonight for Manny. After striking out in the 2nd, had the infield hit in the 4th inning, and a double that nearly get out of here off the wall and left by the 375 marker. Jankowski has grounded out 3 times in this game. And grounds one to third base. Matt Carpenter, who's in on the grass, throws out Jankowski and ends the inning. Padres add a run. 7th inning stretch, 4-0 San Diego. Welcome back to Busch Stadium in St. Louis, where the Padres enjoy a 4-0 advantage as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Padres have been outstanding in this game, both offensively and pitching wise, and Craig Stammen becomes the third arm used by San Diego tonight.
The common theme this evening has been pounding the strike zone, throwing quality strikes. Matt Strom, yes. Adam Simber, you bet. Enter Craig Stammen, and the numbers tell it all. Only 5 walks. Yes, he pounds his own too. 32 strikeouts in 30 1/3 innings of work. Very nice splits for the veteran right-hander.
Carpenter going to lead it off here at the top of the Cardinals order. Padres go into a shift on the right side defensively, and he pops it up the other way. Racing into foul ground is Spangenberg, and he can't make the catch. Overran it. Had to dive back towards the playing surface. He wanted to get over there sprinting to make sure that he was far enough over. Ended up being too far over.
I think it's a tough play for Corey. That ball's going to come back towards the diamond, and as you mentioned, Don, overran it big time. You know, you're going at a pretty good clip and you flash look, and you got to take your eye off the ball just for a little split second. And that could be all the difference in the world making that catch.
So it gives Matt Carpenter another opportunity. He struck out in the first and then again in the fourth, both times swinging. Stammen taking over for Strom and Simber. 6 shutout innings, giving up only 1 hit in a combined effort. And together, they didn't allow any runs or walks, and they struck out 7. Also retired the first 15 Cardinals in the game. We're giving up the infield hit to Harrison Bader in the 6th inning. Now a liner to center field. It's going to get down. Margot plays the hop, and it's a leadoff single for Matt Carpenter to begin the bottom of the 7th inning. Time now for the top tier plays brought to you by Arco, and Freddie Galvis on this liner making a step and a dive at shortstop back in the 4th inning. Making a great catch to rob Tommy Pham in the 4th.
You got to feel pretty good as a pitcher to have a guy like Freddie Galvis at shortstop, man.
Tommy Pham 0 for 2. He had that line out. Also struck out looking. 3rd plate appearance of the night for Pham.
Tommy Pham has grounded into 8 double plays. He leads the Redbird roster in that category.
Popped up foul off to the right, out of play. Liner to right field, and that's going to get in for a hit. Trying to deke the runner was Renfroe, coming in with his glove up. As Carpenter takes second base, Pham with a single, and the Cardinals have put together back-to-back base hits here against Craig Stammen in the 7th inning.
He wants this one down and away, and that leaks inner third. And sure, it's down by the label, but because it's up, he enables himself to get that ball above the infielders' heads and just in front of Hunter Renfroe for a base knock.
A.J. Ellis out to the mound to talk to Stammen. There is nobody warming in the Padres pen. Carpenter a single to center, Pham a single to right, and Cardinals have put together back-to-back base hits here for the first time in the game. You got Jose Martinez coming up.
very tough to strike out. He's got pop. He's grounded into 7 double plays this year.
Starts him with a fastball and a strike. 0-1. On a strike now to Martinez. He's grounded to short, struck out swinging.
Where did this pitch miss?
Wow. Called the ball.
Yeah.
Late umpire tonight, Chris Siegel. Well, I think he's had a pretty good strike zone tonight, though. Definitely missed that pitch. Backing out is Jose Martinez, getting time.
You know, with the infield back the way it is and that 2-seam fastball from Stammen, that's one of those things that you got to deal with, is little infield choppers. That's the downside, right? You know, the 2-seam, you want to get the ground ball. You want to have the guy not elevate the ball to the outfield, hit a line drive, whatever. But still, when you get that 2-seamer like Stammen does have, it's just something that happens. Maybe a guy's out in front of it, and because of the action, he tops it, and you get a little roller. Spangenberg way back at third. In the middle of the infield, double play depth, and Hosmer is way back off the bag at first. Well off the line.
Fouled off, and it's 2-2.
And that breaking ball, like we just say, down and away, and he reaches for it, right? You get the top end of the bat, and you just kind of hook it. Little dribbler down the third base line. It's a hang with him, but it happens.
Carpenter single to begin the inning. He's at second base. Tommy Pham single to right field. He's at first. Back-to-back base hits to begin the bottom of the 7th inning. Big pitch here for Stammen on a 2-2. And it's inside for ball 3.
Hey, you think I'm kidding when I say this, but this situation, if you send the runners, good chance for a triple play. Probably won't send them, though.
In the air to right field. Renfroe moving over towards the line, and under will make the catch, and no advance for the runners, and he fires one to third base.
Hey, big out for Craig Stammen. Third of the way there. Big hitter at the plate. Doesn't strike out a lot. He's got some pop. Let's take a look at the way he pitches him. Second pitch away as well. Trying not to get him extended. There's some soft stuff. Get him out of his front foot. Just got a piece of that one. And then you try to speed him up inside. That one he missed. Actually, Craig wanted to go away on that one. It leaked in, and it worked to his advantage for the weak fly ball to right. So the majority of those pitches were away and soft.
First and second, one down here in the 7th inning, and it brings up Marcelo Zuna. Runners in scoring position, has hit a .294, a couple home runs, and 28 RBIs for the Cardinals left fielder. And he lines one into center field for a base hit. Cutting it off is Margot, as Carpenter will come around to score. Throw goes to second, and the Cardinals are on the board. It's 4-1 Padres. But the Cardinals making some noise here in the 7th inning.
Ozuna's not wasting any time, and he spins on this one. See how nicely he gets his hands in? He gets his hands in and gets the barrel of that bat on that baseball very, very nicely. And judging by that, maybe he was looking for it. Maybe he was looking middle in for the fastball. Majority of hitters do in situations like that, RBI situations, and it pays off for Ozuna.
First and third, one down. A run in here for the Cardinals in the seventh. And it brings up Yadier Molina. There is action in the Padres pen for the first time in this inning. Stammen has allowed 3 hits and so far a run. That action is Kirby Yates. Molina fouls it off, down 0-2. Fastball right over the heart of the plate.
Hey, the good thing about Manuel Margot cutting that ball off is to keep that runner at first base, Ozuna, keeping that double play in order. That's huge, especially with a guy like Molina coming up. Does not run well.
Yeah, he's a double play candidate.
Yep.
Stammen backs off here. Going to try to work Molina away here on an 0-2 pitch. And he grounds one towards third base. Spangenberg will go to first and a run will score. Not hit all that hard. They do get Molina at first base, but scoring from third is Tommy Pham. The second St. Louis run, and it's now 4-2 San Diego.
It's the only play Corey had, because going on contact directly to second base very quickly was Ozuna. Even though it's a force play, you don't want to take that chance. Watch the shuffle. Ozuna, contact, he goes. It's not hit hard, as Don mentioned. He kind of looks at second, but he would not have gotten him. And when in doubt, get the out.
So they do pick up the second out, but the Cardinals pick up their second run. Ozuna at second, and now Jed Jerko 0 for 2 in the ball game. He represents the tying run here. All of a sudden, wild swing and a miss, and a pitch headed away. Go over towards right center, playing for Jerko to go the other way. Oh, and 2. Back, staying away from Jerko.
Back-to-back breaking balls. Yep.
He's chasing. Ozuna at second base, 2 outs here in the Cardinals' 7th inning. Trying to get him to do it again. Pitches in the inning for Stammen. It's 1-2 to Jerko. And a swing and a miss. Struck out Jed Jerko to end the inning. Well, that will be 2 runs in the inning for St. Louis. It's 4-2 Padres. All right, Mike and Mark, thanks very much. We are back in St. Louis in the 8th inning, ready to watch Jordan Hicks, the hard-throwing Jordan Hicks, pitch in the game.
This guy has got a live arm. He has touched 105. Yes, you heard it right. 105 with movement. And right out of the gate. How do you say that, Don?
That's a hundo.
And I might add again, with movement, with sink.
And that's in there for strike 2. Took a little off at 98.
Yeah, he's changing speeds on the fastball.
There's his average velocity. He's touched 105.
Gosh, that's unbelievable.
99.9 is good. It's better than Aroldis Chapman. And Hosmer with a wild swing and a miss at 101 is out number 1 of the 8th inning. So back on May 20th, 105 miles an hour for Jordan Hicks. Wow, that just comes out free and easy, and you're right. Look at that movement.
Oh
that
my
takes
gosh,
off.
it's a wiffle ball. I have never seen anything like that.
You talk about late life. Bench loves it.
I mean, when you see major league players in either dugout react like that, that's something really special.
Well, Jose Perella, now they check swings, strike anyway at 102. He's just getting warmed up.
Gosh, this is unbelievable.
Yeah, to me, it's not the velocity, it's the movement.
Yeah.
I mean, the velocity is impressive, don't get me wrong. But the movement.
You would think a guy that throws that hard and 60 feet 6 inches, well, really, maybe 54 feet because of the stride and the release point, but it wouldn't have time to move. But he must really spin it. I mean, I'm a firm believer of the spin rate.
Swing and a miss. Perella going after that. What was that? Was it a breaking ball?
It was filthy is what it was. 86 breaking ball. Slider? Yeah, that's a slider.
Wow. Not sure why he needs any kind of secondary pitches.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss, going to it again, and he strikes out Perella. Back-to-back Ks for Jordan Hicks, 2 down here in the 8th inning.
It reminds me of that scene in Bull Durham when Crash Davis was talking to Nuke LaLoosh, and he goes, kid, you don't know how good you got it. The baseball guy blessed you with a lightning bolt in your arm.
Highest percentage of fastballs thrown 100+ miles an hour.
I've got to ice my arm just watching this kid pitch.
Rounder foul off the bat of Renfroe. Greg Garcia coming into the game as part of the switch here, as he takes over for Jed Jerko in the double switch. Jerko coming out after striking out to end the 7th inning. 0-2. We had 40,000 here last night. We got 40,000 tonight. 40,199 on hand for game 2 of the series. 41.99. Padres and Cardinals from St. Louis. Renfroe gets a piece, fouls it back.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
See what 100+ looks like coming at you. He went to the slider instead. That's what a slider at 87 miles an hour looks like.
It amazes me how hitters can react and pull the trigger and hit it squarely. How would you?
I'd take him the other way.
Would you?
Yeah.
You shorten it up?
I'd slap it.
Sure. I'd like to see that.
That is in there for strike 3, and Renfroe is frozen. So 1, 2, 3, 8 inning, 4-2 Padres. baseball, brought to you by Jerome's Furniture, where Jerry's price is the lowest price every day. By SeaWorld, Seal is tonight's word of the game. Head to FoxSportsSanDiego.com and click Ways to Win for your chance to win a SeaWorld Family 4-pack. And by Evans Tire and Service Centers, home of the Buy Two, Get Two. Four to 2, Padres have the lead. To the bottom of the 8th inning we go. Kirby Yates, the new pitcher for the Padres, takes over for Craig Stammen, who worked the 7th inning. 27th appearance for Kirby.
Getting late, and that means Kirby Yates coming in for his 27th game. Putting together one heck of a year, even though Stammen gives up the 2. Here's the nice thing: you still have wiggle room, a couple runs to work with. Runs. Who owns the Chiefs?
Peter 1 for 2 in the game, a single in the 6th inning. So Craig Stammen went an inning, giving him 3 hits and 2 runs. Didn't walk anybody and struck out a batter. 4-2 Padres, with the Cardinals batting here in the last of the 8th after a very impressive showing by the Cardinals reliever Jordan Hicks. Struck out the side in order. Strom went 3, Simber went 3, Stammen an inning, and now Yates on for the 8th. Two and 2, fastball at 94.
Okay, we've seen Adam Simber out of the bullpen a number of times this year, right? The one, and there's so much up to this point of this ballgame that's been positive for San Diego. Matt Strom, man, each outing, he's getting better and better, isn't he?
This one is on the ground towards short, not hit hard. Galvis racing in and throwing on the run in time to get him. Nice play by Freddie Galvis. Keep in mind, Harrison Bader can fly, and he's out number 1 of the 8th inning.
You got that right. One of the fastest guys in the National League. Everyday Freddie on the short hop. The flip throw. Just get it in the general area for Eric Hosmer. And that's one of those that could take a nasty hop, but Freddie Galvis has done that so many times. He makes it look easy for the big out here in the 8th.
So 1 out in the 8th, and Jairo Munoz, the batter, 0 for 2. Rounded out his last time up into a 4-6-3 double play. Struck out earlier, 0 for 2. Running out of the number 8 spot for the Cardinals. To third, and Spangenberg. Step on a throw, 2 down. Let's check out our keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Muzzle Michaelis. He was 7-1 going into this ball game. His one loss, he only gave up 1 earned run. 6 innings, 6 hits. The Padres got to him. Gave up his first home run this year at Busch Stadium. And bullpen is the bomb. Strom and Simber, 6 innings, only 1 hit, no earned runs, no walks, and 7 punchies. Thank you, Don Orsillo. I am one that I've learned a long time ago. You give credit where credit is due. Don Orsillo came up with the keys to the game this evening. Donnie?
Thanks, Mudley.
You're welcome.
2 down here in the 8th, and a strike in there to Greg Garcia. I'm very impressed you didn't take it on as your own. I appreciate that.
No, I'm not that type of guy. You know me by now.
That's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was saying earlier while you were gone. While you were gone, boy, in the middle innings, how much I missed you. I said that.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
I didn't really say that. And now I feel really bad.
What?
Oh, the strike, and this one will get through the right side. Garcia, who's first at bat with a single. 2 down in the inning.
Yeah, so in like the 4th or 5th inning, I may have said something.
Wait. I don't want to get fired.
Oh, get the cord behind your back.
Got to put my cord behind me.
I think maybe in the 4th or 5th inning I said something like how much I enjoy Tony Gwynn Jr. when he comes over,
right.
and what a breath of fresh air he is, and how great it is.
See, now you're being honest. Don't you feel better? Like you're cleansing your soul?
The truth is
it's
setting
okay,
me
Donnie,
free. Yeah,
so
I might have said some things about
you know I love you.
I know.
Love you like a brother.
But I feel bad now.
Don't feel bad.
A little bit. A little bit.
Don't feel a little bit?
A little bit.
Well, you know what? Drinks are in the house tonight. On the house.
2 down here in the 8th. Garcia at first.
So you disrespected me a little bit?
Nah, I don't. Maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little bit.
I think you lost your baseball in that exchange.
No, I dropped it. Oh, don't throw it in the crowd. No. Come on. Give me my ball. Give me my ball. Okay, you can give it to a kid. There you go. Thanks. You just gave it to a kid. Gave it to me.
1-0 pitch coming up to Matt Carpenter. 1 for 3 in the game. Singled his last time up and lifts a fly ball down the left field line. Jankowski won't have a play. It's back into the seats.
I think it's the perfect opportunity for Kirby Yates. Remember, he's got that split finger fastball. He can locate the fastball with the best of them. Carpenter, first 2 times tonight, struck out.
They're shifting here on Carpenter. They've been doing this, and in short right field is Perella. Second baseman backed up, few strides on that outfield grass. Yates looking over at first base at Garcia, who's got a good sized lead over there. Right hand up in the pen. Ideally, they would love Yates to get through this 8th inning and not have to go to hand until the 9th. But as we know, Andy Green is not afraid to go to his closer for more than an inning if need be.
Pitched on Sunday last time out. That was for Brad Hand in the 9th. Recorded his 19th save. Hitters count here. I say keep the ball hard away. Give him left field in the air. And if he pulls it on the ground, the right side, that's why you employ the shift right here.
Strike call. The right corner of the strike zone right there.
That's a legitimate strike. I know hitters don't like it, but it's a good pitch.
You hit it, you can't do much with it.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
That's one of those pitches. If you swing and offer at it, that's the high, lofty fly ball to left field for an easy out.
They have changed the participants in the shift on the right side. Spangenberg now moves to the right side with 2 strikes on the hitter. And here is a one hopper to Spangenberg, who is in the shift, the third baseman who throws to first to retire Carpenter and ends the inning. To the 9th we go, 4-2 Padres.
You know, success is that they do something that's bigger than themselves, and they play together, and they learn how to do something together and not individually. And if that's my leadership, then that's where it comes from, I guess.
Catch the incredible stories of all 10 high school Padres Coach of the Year nominees and see who won the title on a special edition of Inside San Diego Sports, airing tonight on Padres Live, the postgame show.
Corey Spangenberg leading it off and swinging to the first pitch, sending one out towards center field. Tommy Pham on the move, will get there. The first contact we've seen off Jordan Hicks since coming into the game after he struck out all 3 that he faced in the 8th. Spangenberg jumping on that first pitch and flying out to center for the first out of the 9th inning.
Don, I want to go back to that last out, the last half inning, that Corey Spangenberg made that nice defensive play. I thought it was a nice defensive play. It was a one-hopper, hit sharply, but Corey got in front of that ball and literally took it in the gut. Not the Olay type that could bounce off the glove and possibly, for the Cardinals, you know, extend the inning. He got in front of it, took it right in the belt buckle, in the gut for the final out. I thought that was a good play.
I would agree. And I got him out of the inning, into the inning. That pitch got home plate umpire Chris Siegel. He's trying to shake it off. Home trainer here, the Cardinals trainer, looking on. Says it's all right, and we're good to go. Freddie Galvis climbs back in the box, 1-0. Galvis with a single back in the 4th inning, a 1-for-3 game. Came around to score the 3rd Padres run. As the inning, they got 3, then they picked up another run in the 7th inning. There's a ground ball to second base. Greg Garcia picks and throws for out number 2 of the 9th inning.
Talked to Greg before the game. He's a Valhalla Norseman, Greg Garcia from San Diego. Talked to his dad today as well, Dave Garcia Jr., and his grandfather passed away recently, Dave Garcia.
Yes.
What a great man.
Very nice man.
And they're going to have a memorial service in November in San Diego. What a good egg he is, that kid right there, Greg Garcia.
This one down the right field line and headed towards the seats, out of play.
Dave Sr. always used to come to Qualcomm, Jack Murphy back in the day, and when he wasn't coaching, and then of course sat at Petco Park over near the visiting dugout every game before even the players would come out, right, for batting practice, and go over there and just talk ball and talk about players. Just a pleasure to be around.
The first time I had ever met him was at Qualcomm Stadium.
Was he a great man?
Tremendous. Very, very nice. Very classy.
Yeah.
Good to see his grandson in the major leagues.
Yeah.
2 down here in the 9th inning, and Margot may have gone. Yeah, he did. Rung up by the home plate umpire Chris Siegel. 4 strikeouts for Hicks. We head to the bottom of the 9th, 4-2 San Diego.
of the game. This was a bullpen game tonight for the Padres, and the first two outstanding, Matt Strom and Adam Simber, as they ended up retiring the first 15 Cardinals in a row to start the night. They're perfect through 5 innings until a leadoff hit in the 6th inning by Harrison Bader, but these two were spectacular.
They answered the bell. I mean, they got the word. It's been the common thing that one time around of the rotation, and the common theme here for Strom, Simber, like we saw tonight, is empty the tank. Be aggressive. Go right after them. It's exactly what they did. Both of them faced the minimum. Now enter Brad Hand with the 2-run lead here in the Cardinal half of the 9th.
19 out of 21 in save opportunities, and yes, this is a save opportunity with Tommy Pham leading it off. And grounding one softly towards third base. It's going to be a fair ball. The throw from Spangenberg in time. And there's one out in the 9th inning. 1 pitch and 1 out. That'll work.
Did you see how Corey carried through with that? Remember the other night he kind of paused?
Yes.
Looked at home plate umpire. This one he said, you know what? I'm going to make the play. I'll let them make the decision. It's where the ball is touched. Home plate umpire indicating fair. Chris Siegel, that is. 5-3 play.
You live and learn.
Yep.
1 out in the 9th inning, and it brings up Jose Martinez. 0 for 3 in the game. He's grounded out to short, struck out swinging, and fly to right. I want to ask you about Matt Strom because I'm excited about what I've seen the last couple times out.
Me too.
Now, is it because he is going full bore, knowing he's only going to go 3 innings, or do you feel like he could maybe, I don't know, stretch it out a little bit more, not put so much into those 3 innings? Would he be as good, I guess is what I'm asking. What do you project?
I think time will tell, but I think that's one of the reasons why his mindset going into the game, and Andy has said it to us, right? He wants him to go aggressively from the get-go.
Yes.
And give me 30 pitches, give me 40, whatever the case may be.
Right.
Now, to me, let's say he goes, okay, you're getting the start, and it's just a full start day. I mean, we're going to see what you can do.
Right, go 5-6.
Prove to me that you can get through the lineup 3 times. If you're throwing the fastballs 70% of the times, you're mixing in breaking balls. Well, you know what? You're hitting your spots. You're changing speeds nicely. The rest will take care of itself.
2-1 here to Jose Martinez. You got Marcell Ozuna waiting on deck. 1 down here in the 9th. Fly ball down the right field line, headed for the seats.
And Don, it might get to the point where, if in fact in the future Matt Strom is in the rotation, you just need 5 or 6.
That's the thing. I'm just wondering how many more times we do the bullpen games before it becomes Matt Strom's day.
How many did he throw today?
He won a total of 3 innings and threw 37. Oh no, hold on. 36 pitches in 3 innings.
Okay, so 30,
yeah.
31, and 36.
36.
Now, right? Seems like they're kind of stuck on that 30 35 range. I mean, if you're going to stretch them out, to me, it's going to be like maybe 10 to 15 more, maybe even 50-ish, right?
Yeah, that would make sense. This one to right, and coming in is Hunter Renfroe. 2 down in the 9th inning. And it'll bring up Marcell Ozuna. So far so good for Hand on 6 pitches. Has 2 outs in the 9th inning.
So I think this being the 3rd time around now with that philosophy, I think that's their intent. Give me 30 to 35 pitches, maybe 40.
Marcell Ozuna's grounded to short, fly to right, and single to center to drive in a run. He was part of that 2-run bottom of the 7th inning for the Cardinals. And that one may have gotten him. It did. I'm not sure he thought it did. It's almost like he's being talked into it. So he'll go down to first base.
A.J. Ellis is talking to Chris Siegel. It's like, really? Are you sure?
Yeah, because Ozuna didn't think he got hit. Looked like he did get his foot, though. And he's even limping going down to first base.
Yeah.
So now you have the tying run coming to the plate here all of a sudden. Oh, that slider, sometimes that back foot, you can get it. gives Yadier Molina a chance here with 2 outs, a runner on in the 9th. Represents a tying run. 1 for 4 in his career against Hand. And a swing and a miss for strike 1. Went to the fastball that time.
Well, we've said it before. The talk about Brad Hand is that slider, but don't underestimate that fastball, 95 and 96.
Runner goes. The pitch is away, and defensive indifference allows Ozuna to take second base. Takes away the force at second. We have 2 down here in the 9th inning. Strike 2. Bam grounded out. Martinez flied out. Ozuna hit by the pitch. Defensive indifference gets him to second. Now a 1-2 pitch coming to Yadier Molina here in the 9th inning. Fouled off to the right out of play. Very defensive swing there by Molina. Too close to take. Walking counterclockwise around the mound to the back of the hill in the midst of a meeting with himself. Now back up on top of the hill. Stares in, finds out what he'll throw. Here's a 1-2 pitch coming from Brad Hand. He struck him out and the Padres win. Striking out is Yadier Molina. Brad Hand able to close it out, picks up the save for the Padres. They pick up a win in game 2 of the series. And getting Molina, who represented the tying run in this game, batting in the 9th inning. And what a well-pitched ball game tonight by the Padres.
That is a very tough pitch to hit. We talk about the slider to the back foot. Well, he hit Ozuna. He's at first. Molina, he misses that pitch for the save. 20th for Brad Hand.
Padres win it 4-2. Padres Live is next. Mike Pomerantz, what's in store?